Welcome everyone to the first episode of the British Bulldog. Unfortunately, my sidekick and Bulldog friend hasn't quite mastered the art of talking in public. As such, you're going to have to put up with me doing the talking on his behalf. In our first video for YouTube, we're going to be exploring the IPOs on offer and providing you with some greater insight regarding these players. As you know, 2 of the IPOs have already sold out, but the stats and insight will still be useful in understanding if they're a player you wish to pick up on the market at a later date. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel as it really helps us know that these videos are worth doing. Ultimately, we want to help you and others with their portfolio investment, as when you first start off, it can be a bit daunting. If you're a first-time visitor to the channel and want to explore what StocksFC is in more detail, be sure to visit the links in the video below, and we strongly recommend you read the white paper on the StocksFC website. Now, enough of the waffle, or the woofle, let's get into it and see who is available to purchase this week on the platform. The first player who's been IPO'd this week is James Mcatee, who is 22 and currently plays for Man City. In respect of international caps, he hasn't been capped for the senior team, but he has achieved 18 caps through the various junior formats. StocksFC have set his initial purchase price order at 35p, and he has a maximum supply of 7,500 stocks, which have already sold out. Now let's take a dive into the data and see what the stats say about his past performances and how he may perform as a player if you add him to your portfolio. He has a player rating of 6.29 on WhoScored.com, and in respect of goals, he has scored 3 times this season. He has also been on the winning team 11 times, but he hasn't achieved any assists. In terms of shots, he averages 0.9 per 90 and completes 0.1 key passes per match. Do bear in mind, though, that a lot of his minutes at the moment have been coming off the bench and he hasn't been getting a full 90 minutes. So to summarise, I think this player is one for the future. He is clearly getting a better run of things in the squad this year, but once Haaland is back to full fitness, it will be interesting to see how Pep rotates the squad and where James fits into his plans in the longer term. When we think of players who have realised a huge potential away from Man City, then you don't need to look any further than Cole Palmer. Personally, I think James may follow that route and he may need to get a move away from City to continue his growth within the Premier League. That being said, he sold out his IPO within a couple of days, so many others on the platform clearly fancy his potential for returns in the future. Overall, we're going to give him a Bulldog rating of 2 out of 5. Moving on to player 2 now, and the platform is introducing William Saliba. He is 24 years old and currently plays for Arsenal as a centre-back. He's been capped 28 times for his national team, and StocksFC have set his initial purchase order price at 63p per stock. He has a maximum supply of 7,500 stocks. Now let's take a look into his data and see what his stats say about his performances and how he may perform as a player in your portfolio. He has a player rating of 6.85 on WhoScored, and we need to know how that score translates into potential points and therefore earnings for you on StocksFC. Well, in respect of goals, he's scored 2 times this season, and we know what a threat Arsenal are from set pieces. He's also been on the winning team 18 times and plays for an excellent team in Arsenal. He hasn't achieved any assists, but we wouldn't really expect that from a centre-back. And in respect of shots, he does average 0.2 per game, and he also completes 0.2 key passes per 90 minutes. For me, the British Bulldog, personally, I think William Saliba is actually one of the better IPOs this week for here and now on the platform. He's an excellent asset to have, and he plays for one of the best teams in the league, which is a key feature for points, considering you pick up points based on the amount of wins that you get. He's also a key feature of the French national team, and his size and power could see him dominate in the future in the box from corners and set pieces, so he will always find the back of the net once in a while. Overall, we're going to give him a Bulldog rating of 4 out of 5. The last player to IPO this week is Dean Huijsen, aged 20, and he plays for Bournemouth. He has been capped once for his national team, which is Spain. His initial purchase price order is 25p with a supply of 7,500 stocks. Unsurprisingly, this price has attracted high demand and he sold out within an hour or so of being on the platform. Once again, let's take a look at his stats and assess how he may perform should you add him to your portfolio now or at a later date. He has a player rating of 6.97, the highest of the IPOs this week on WhoScored.com. So let's have a look how he achieved this rating. During this season, he has got his name on the score sheet twice, and he's also been on the winning team 11 times. He has provided 1 assist, and in respect of shots, he averages 0.6 per game, and he completes 0.5 passes per game. Key passes, that is. The stats speak for themselves, and it's clear to see why so many investors were looking to buy a huge chunk of Huijsen at IPO this week. He had the highest player rating on WhoScored.com, but was also the cheapest IPO price. This season, he's drastically increased his game time for Bournemouth, which has also seen him achieve his first cap for the Spanish national team. At 20 years of age, this is exactly the type of player that investors should be falling over themselves for. And if they're looking to invest in a young talent with a potential high ceiling, then look no further. Fingers crossed, or should I say paws crossed, that he doesn't get a big money move out of the Premier League soon, as there have been some rumours to some big international teams. So overall, Huijsen is going to get a massive 5 out of 5 Bulldog rating from us this week. As mentioned at the start, you should familiarise yourself with the scoring matrix on StocksFC. However, for the purposes of this video, we've taken the key metrics of goals, assists, shots per game, key passes, and the winning team as a key benchmark figure. Using these stats, explored on the previous pages, we are now going to show you how these 3 IPO players compare against each other. For clarity, the way I have calculated the average points is to take their goals, winning team stats, assist stats across the season and divide by 38 to work out the average per game week. This makes it easier to total the scores when factoring in the per game stats such as key passes and shots on target. To help us compare each player's statistics, I'll use the same formula each week to create a league table for each position, allowing for easier comparison of the IPOs against their peers in the Premier League. Once again, do bear in mind these 5 categories are not the only way that players can increase or decrease their points for the week. So as you can see, the highest scoring player on the list is Saliba, and however, I think that's primarily due to him being on the winning team the most. But when you look at the potential attacking threat of Huijsen, it's clear that he is a standout in terms of comparison when looking at all 3 options. Whoever you get on this week, I hope this video has been informative, and I hope these stats help you make the right decision. And that rounds up this week's episode, having a look at the IPOs. So a big thank you to everyone who's popped by to listen to our first video, and hopefully we look forward to seeing you again in the future. We really hope you enjoy the content and use it to your advantage to help you strategize your investment plans going forward. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, as supporting channels like this will help create other content on the platform be generated and visible to people when they go onto YouTube, in turn attracting new users and ultimately ensuring the success of StocksFC for everyone.